Assalamualaikum, my name is Siti Nur Fahada binti Muhammad Zahir. Today I want to present about the introduction and background of Malaysia Airline Systems and AirAsia Berhad. I am also present about how we choose these two companies and how to improve the financial position of these two companies. First, let's start with introduction. For MAS was established in 1947. Previously, MAS was named as Malaysia Airways Limited, MAL, where MAL was established as a result of the collaboration of two companies, namely Imperial Airways and also Straits Steamship Company, which is located in Singapore. Following the establishment of the Federation of Malaysia 1963, Malaysian Airways Limited was renamed as Malaysian Airways, and in 1966, Malaysian Airways was renamed again as Malaysia Singapore Airlines (MSA), and it finally, in 1972, it was changed to Malaysia Airline System (MAS), and it remains until today. For AirAsia Berhad was established in 1993 and started their operations around 1996. AirAsia is based in Kuala Lumpur and has several other sub-bases in several other countries such as Thailand, Singapore, Vietnam, Philippines, China, Brunei, Myanmar, and Indonesia.
Assalamualaikum and good morning everyone. My name is Siti Nur Fazila Hidayatullah binti Nasari and you can call me Fazila. I'm from BA 235C. I will continue presentation from Miss Fahada. Okay, let's continue with background of the company. We will start with AirAsia Airline first. It's established by the RP Highcom in 1993 and it's become the main low-cost carrier or LCCT for traveling to any Asia countries. In 2001, June Air SCMBC purchased the airline from the RP Highcom and they handle the airline business until now. Major hub is Kuala Lumpur International Airport, Senai International Airport, and Penang International Airport. For Malaysia Airline System or MAS Airline, it's actually a Malaysia national airline carrier and it's first operated in 1947. When the promotion federal in Malaysia in 1963, this airline is called as Malaysia Airways. Then it changed the name into Malaysia Singapore Airlines in 1966 before it's changed again to Malaysia Airline System or called as MAS. So until now, this airline travel more than 50 destinations with 300 flight operations per day. It's also a member of one of World Airlines for the smooth journey over 1,000 destinations in 150 countries and access to 650 airport lounges in the world.
The reason why we choose these two companies because these two airlines are the most famous in Malaysia and also the world. In addition, the stability of their respective businesses is our main source for investigating the financial position of these two companies.
Okay, it's normal to company to have strength and weakness. And it's very important for the company to overcome their weakness and enhance their strength so they can keep their position, a high position in the market. So let's see for the AirAsia first, what is their strength. It's actually, the first one is low cost airline because AirAsia aware of some problem facing by airlines customer regarding to the price of the ticket. So they provide a low price of the ticket along with warm hospitality service. They also provide the weekly service for one destination to Kuala Lumpur, which they give a low price than the normal price. It made the logo or which is a low-cost carrier which offers 5-star service where everyone can fly. The second way is they form the multiple partnership. It's a good thing when they form good partnership relationship with other service like hotel, rental, and form a collaboration to serve a customer when they arrive to the destination. Like when you arrive to the destination, there's a hotel and there's a car to rent. It really is you in the place. The Asia also have partnered with Citibanks, create AirAsia Citibank card that had Master and Visa card. Another partnership was with Galileo Global Distribution System, that is the traveler and tourism agent, to check the flight information like flight schedule and fees from far away. At the same time, can make a flight booking in the system, so it will enhance the Asia image among the tourism. Okay, let's see the weakness there. The weakness is sustaining cost, because the low cost of the Asia, it will have an unbalanced profit. Maybe it will have a low profit, and which can lead to the cost problems such as fuel cost. Since fuel cost is keep higher every years. Then the second one is does not have its own MRO facility, or we call it as maintenance, repair, and overhaul facility. It's important to receive by every plane before start the journey. But those hubs only situate in Malaysia, Thailand, and Indonesia, involve about 100 current planes, and another 100 current planes in the future should be considered. Thus, AirAsia must take an action by prepare a financial report and proposal to earn an MRO to ensure other plane will get the continuous maintenance at the same time, maintaining the low cost. Okay, let's see for the strength of the Malaysian airline. The Malaysian airline is so special because they focus to increase the performance by improve their punctuality and on-time flight. So they also enhance customer service to give only a good experience to the customer. The second one is they introduce effective frequent flyer program, which will increase the engagement of the customer in operation. The customer that enroll in the program will get a point, and it can be redeemed to get a reward like upgrade of the class and freebies. The third one, or the last one, is strong partnership. Why I said strong partnership? Because they formed the partnership with Emirates. Emirates is the largest flag carrier of United Arab Emirates. Emirates opened the entire Emirates to Malaysia Airlines, give an opportunity to our Malaysia Airlines to adding their destination in the Emirates destination in the Emirate country. So the witness is we can see in 2014 there's a case about the flight, which is MH3370. On 14 March 2014, it's missing suddenly when it fly from the LIA to Beijing National Airport. 12 crew and 227 passengers were lost at that time. The second case is MH17. The airplane was shot down when they flying over the eastern Ukraine, and we don't even know who do that. The second one is bad financial structure. They're using a weak annuity system. That's really a weak annuity system. So the problem is Malaysian Airlines also try and error to restructure the financial system, but it lead to failure and it failed to meet the target.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and hello to all of you. My name is Ahmad Hafizuddin bin Ahmad Shafiuddin. We'll present to you about trend analysis for both company that we have choose, which is AirAsia and Malaysia Airlines. Current ratio measures the company ability to pay its short-term liabilities using liquid funds. The higher the number, the better company to have current ratio. For AirAsia, show that the highest current ratio is in 2010, that is 2.7%. Meanwhile, Malaysia Airlines shows that the higher current ratio is in 2010 and 2015. Both of them are 0.8%. Inventory turnover, or ITO, measures the company's ability to use the inventory to generate sales. It also shows the number of times the inventory can be sold in a year. The higher the ITO, the better or more effective is the company using to generate sales. AirAsia trend shows every year the ITO are keep increasing, and the highest one, which is in 2013, by 21 times. Malaysia Airlines trends every year are keep increasing also, and the highest one, which is in 2013, in 61 times. Average collection period, ACP, measures the average days taken by the company to collect credit sales. The shorter days is the better the company collect the debt. AirAsia shows the shortest days in year 2012, which is in 56 days. Meanwhile, Malaysia Airlines shows the shortest days to collect in year 2011, which is 36 days. Debt ratio measures the percentage of total assets that are financed by debt. Debt ratios indicates the amount of debt in the company financial structure. The higher the debt ratio, the higher is the company to have the risk. AirAsia shown in 2013 are 63%, which is the highest from the 5-year previous year. The trend shown Malaysia Airlines Berhad having risk of getting debt by each year. Return on assets measure the company abilities and the effectiveness to use its total assets in generating net profits. The higher the return, the better is the company generating net profit using total assets. AirAsia graph shown in 2009 is the highest return on assets, which is 44%. Meanwhile, Malaysia Airlines graph shown return on assets are the highest in 2011, which is in 21%. Net margin measures the net profit generated from sales after deducting the administrative expenses, interest expenses, and tax expenses. The higher the net margin, the better or effective the company in generating net profit. AirAsia in 2012 shows 37%, the highest net between the 5 years, 2009 until 2015. Meanwhile, Malaysia Airlines Berhad in 2011 are the highest number of net margin, which is 18%. Operating profit margin measures the profit generated from sales. AirAsia in 2012 shows the highest operating profit, which is 40%. Malaysia Airlines Berhad in 2011 are the highest operating profit by 18.4%.
For the overall corporates analysis, I will just use the short term, since my friend Hafizuddin had explained about it. So from the table 1.5, it shows the analysis of the year 2013, and we can see that AirAsia became the most effective company for financial analysis, which are liquidity, activity, debt, and profitability ratio that made AirAsia performance is more effective compared to Malaysia Airlines. In liquidity ratio, AirAsia had the higher value for WNC and CR, which are good for company as company can change the asset into the cash to pay any commitment and liability immediately. For activity ratio, AirAsia has a short SCP with 50 days rather than Malaysia Airlines, which is 64 days. So AirAsia more efficient in collecting debts in a short period. APP for AirAsia also better from Malaysia Airlines, allowing the company to maintain availability of the cash to pay any debts. For leverage, DR and DER is lower, which made it good for the AirAsia company since the debt and risk is lower. Moreover, AirAsia has the highest OPM that made the company easy to generate profit from after deducting operations expense, and it increased the net profit as well. Besides, value of ROA for AirAsia is higher than Malaysia Airlines, enable to be a profit using the total asset in a better way.
Last but not least, how the companies can improve their current financial position based on calculated ratio. First, liquidity ratio. These two companies can act by converting their debt from short-term debt into the long-term debt, and maybe both companies can reduce expenses for non-essential things in excess. Second, activity ratio. To ensure the activity ratio for these two companies continues to increase and thrive, both companies need to keep on track their inventory and ensure it is at a good level and ensure development for their business, and also they need to increase their effectiveness in attracting consumers to continue to use their airline services. Third, leverage or debt ratio. These two airlines need to ensure that their inventory is at a good level, as well as they need to increase their revenues for the purpose of ensuring their leverage or debt ratio is at a stable level. For the last one is profitability ratio. To ensure that it is at a stable and good level for the business of these two airlines, Malaysia Airlines System and AirAsia Berhad need to get rid of all types of unprofitable products and services, attract customers to continue using their services and continue to find new customers, and also they have to increase their business rate.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Najmil bin Azmi. So for today I would like to present my slide. Here my slide is about the importance of calculated ratio to relevant parties or the market player. So financial ratio is a method that have been used to calculate the ratio of relevant parties. It's aimed to analyze by calculating, interpreting, and evaluating the financial performance of the company. There are several types of relative comparison that have been used in financial comparison. The first is used to examine the performance of the company from time to time. That is what we call as a vertical analysis. The second is used to compare the same company at the different time, which is known as the horizontal analysis or cross-cutting. This method is used to compare the financial performance analysis, which use both time series analysis and cross-cutting analysis. This method that has been created is very important for the purpose of assessing the financial performance of the company. We can ensure that the appropriate method adopted for our company. There have 5 types in financial ratio class used. The first group is the liquidity ratio. It is used to measure the capability in the company, whether the able meet mutual liability depending on the current asset in the company. The second is asset management or activity ratio, or known as the efficiency ratio, to measure the effectiveness of the company in using the resource within the company, which aim to measure the efficiency of asset for the production of sale and money. The third one is used to measure the company to the extent that they have been financed by the forest, known as the ratio of leverage or debt. Is aimed to analyze how firm finance their assets to determine the capital structure. The fourth is the profit ratio, and is used as a measure of the company efficiency in using its investment and asset to generate the profit or income. And lastly, the fifth is about evaluating the strength of the company to generate market value above its investment cost. It is a very important thing to ensure that the company operation take into account market factor. Market analysis is a very important in company because it used to analyze and manage. There have 4 ways how the company can develop their financial management. The first one is way to analyze the finance in their company by identifying it by looking at the financial ratio of the company carefully. The use of financial ratio is usually done if there are lender who determine the stability and health of the company. By looking at the balance sheet giving the full overview of their company, ons or out, and also what is out. This is because for a banker, they think the financial ratio is a part of business loan agreement within the company. Next is liquidity. It was used to measure the amount of liquidity out of the company to cover the debt. There have a two liquidity ratio. The first is current ratio to study how many times the company can pay current liability, and the second one is acid test ratio, which to examine whether the company business has sufficient finance to pay the liability. Next is the efficiency ratio. It used to evaluate how good the company is their using their asset and liability internally. It is a method that can help in calculation of more efficiency turnover the repayment of the liability, quantity, and also the equity and the general use of inventory and machinery of the company. The third one is the profitability ratio. It's a class of financial metric used to analyze company ability to generate income compared to its income. That is operating cost, balance sheet asset or shareholder equity from time to time. And fourth, lastly, is the leverage ratio. It's a method of measuring finance that look at how much capital in the form of debt or asset whether the company is able to pay the debt if they fall short. And it's also used to analyze the combined operating operation expense to generate idea about output change will affect income operation. This method is a very important to use in company to improve their financial research of the company.
From the trend analysis calculation and based on comprehensive analysis, it showed that AirAsia have better financial performance rather than Malaysia Airlines. Both have its weakness, but it seems that Malaysia Airlines' weakness is more critical. It is because the weakness involves the inside factor, which is weakness of the financial itself, and outside factor, which is flight cases. However, both companies need to think a way to improve their performance to keep the fresh in airline industry.